My Jarl, I have concerns about the safety of Dawnstar.
Safety? Don't I have you to handle the town's safety? What is this about, Jan?
You keep pledging more and more of our guard to the front lines. The way this is going, we won't be able to defend our own borders.
Nonsense. The best place for our men is driving the Imperials back. I will ensure that men from Dawnstar get every opportunity for glory.
Glory is meaningless if they have no home to return to. I urge you to lower our commitments to the front until I'm sure we're safe.
I won't have you rob our soldiers of their chance to drive out the Empire. I'm done discussing this, Jan. I've been in charge of Dawnstar for over 35 years. The nightmares in Dawnstar have lifted, and I hear you helped that happen. You have my thanks. Giants are a common problem in the Pale. The Empire always demanded I leave them be, but the Empire isn't here now. Go and slay one of the beasts. Should let them know that Dawnstar is not to be trifled with. I'm counting on you. Hope to see you again soon.
I'm Skald's housecarl, and head of his guard in Dawnstar. My only aim is to keep the peace.
I'm here to lend my magic to the people of Dawnstar. If you could call it that. The Jarl can make all the demands in the world. I'm not setting one foot on that battlefield. I fought in the Great War. I cut enough young lives short. I'm not gonna do it again. About 30 years ago, the Aldemary Dominion invaded the Empire. It was a surprise attack. Caught everyone off guard. They ended up sacking the Imperial City. I was there, blasting apart young elven men and women with fireballs and lightning bolts. By Akatosh, all the blood, the smell of flesh burned and pulled apart by magic. I never want to do that to another soul, ever again. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. Skald, I've been meaning to ask you for a leave of absence. I wish to return to High Rock until this war is over.
You wish to leave now? In Skyrim's moment of triumph? Just before we cast off the yoke of Imperial rule?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm asking. I'm not a Nord, I'm a Breton, and I have no wish to fight this war.
I don't think so, Medina. There will be no deserters in this hold, and that's final! You're not as dumb as you look. I've been in charge of Dawnstar for over 35 years. You've shown those monsters that they will no longer be tolerated in the Pale. Good work! Here, a reward from your Jarl. Yes, it is. It's in the southern part of the Pale, right on the border with Whiterun Hold. All the room in the world to build your own house. Wonderful. I'll sleep better knowing you're watching the Southern Marches. Here's the title to your steading. Just follow the road south from Dawnstar, past Fort Dunstad. Then head south. The land is near Giant's Gap, right on the border with Whiterun Hold. You'll almost be inside of the Laureus farm, in fact. I hope to see you again soon.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend. Yes, my collection of artifacts from a group that toppled an empire. Why don't you come in? You can browse the displays and we can talk. I have a job you look perfect for. Let's talk inside. Free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready to discuss that job I mentioned. The tapestries hung here and outside were found in hideouts, where members of the Mythic Dawn would meet and plot. The cult's greatest accomplishment was the assassination of the Septim Dynasty and the opening of the Oblivion Gates. Those robes were worn during the Mythic Dawn's secret meetings, where they plotted to bring the Daedra Mehrunes Dagon into Tamriel. Each bolt of yarn used to make the robe was colored with a dye, made from sacrificial blood. That burned paper is all that remains of the fabled Mysterium Xarxes, the blasphemous book written by Mehrunes Dagon himself. It's said that Mankar Cameron used the book to open a portal to a paradise, where all his followers would live forever. The commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes were written by the Mythic Dawn cult leader, Mankar Cameron. He promised a paradise awaited his followers when they died, that they would be reborn by Mehrunes Dagon's side. Ah, yes. That scabbard. Notice the insignia? An Oblivion Gate. A key symbol of Mehrunes Dagon, the patron Daedra of the Mythic Dawn. Did you have any questions about the museum? Or would you rather talk business? It's no secret that my family were once members of the Mythic Dawn. One of my forefathers was even chosen to assassinate Uriel Septim himself. We hid from our past for years, became tradesmen, people of coin and influence. But I realized that the Mythic Dawn's importance, our importance, to history cannot be denied. I'll see everyone in Tamriel remember that for a moment, we held the fate of the world in our hands, for good or ill. They were worshippers of Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Lord of Destruction and Change. The Mythic Dawn killed Uriel Septim VII and his heirs, triggering the events that led to the Oblivion Crisis when the Daedra invaded Tamriel. All that remains of the infamous cult, I've gathered in my museum. Ah, an excellent question. Mehrunes Dagon is the Daedric Lord of Change, Destruction, and Ambition. Dagon's Mythic Dawn cult killed the Septim dynasty and opened the Oblivion Gates into Tamriel. They called it the Oblivion Crisis. And here you are. I hope you found the museum to your liking. A little history first. After the Oblivion Crisis, a number of groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn. One of these groups found Mehrunes Razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments and pledged to keep them apart forever. That was almost 150 years ago, and the pieces are still being kept by the descendants of that group, and they're right here, in Skyrim. Fine. I can't force you to help me, but the offer is open. I'll just be tending the museum if you need me.
A letter. Not sure who from. He wouldn't say, just that he was a friend of yours. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Glad you're here. Hello, friend. doing some building, eh? We can deliver it wherever he needs. I'll have them hauled over right away.
Archmage of the college, yeah? I prefer my hammer. But maybe you can teach me a thing or two sometime. So it's true. You're Dragonborn. Shor's bones. I wouldn't have ever believed it.
Oh, hello! Always good to see you, Dragonborn. Yes, I believe they are all waiting in the courtyard for your return. But before we address them, I need to ask you something. Well, you saved my life from that stinking prison, and I value your opinion on their skills. I was wondering if you would be willing to help me with the evaluation of these new recruits. We've been getting reports of trouble from people all over Skyrim. Bandits, vampires, Draugr, and whatnot. If you could scout out some of these reports and take a recruit with you each time, we can evaluate their skills more quickly. Great! I hoped you would help. Please, follow me to address the recruits. See me after, and we'll get started on the evaluations. Recruits! Front and center. Form a line right here. Let's see now. What do we have here? A lizard, a catman, a puny nod, and a woman.
Marcus and Valeri's keeping you busy.
You're a pitiful lad, aren't you?
Sir. Sir.
Yes, sir.
You sound like a bunch of baby mud crabs. When I ask you a question, the first and last thing to come out of your feeder sewers will be sir. Now say it like you have a bear.
Sir, yes, sir.
What happened to you, lizard? Did your mother have any eggs that hatched?
Sir, yes, sir.
Well, all of you are flabby and weak, but today we begin your training. You will patrol, you will train on the targets, and I might just let you get a little sleep. How about you, Breton? What's your story?
I want to become an adventurer, like you. But no one in my family ever did anything exciting. I aim to change that.
Oh. Seeking fame and fortune, eh? Well, you'll be adventuring soon enough, with our friend here. Each one of you will be going into the field to look for strengths and weaknesses in your combat skills. It will not be easy. It will be hard. But maybe with proper training you might just become skilled enough to have a home here. Now then, you each have your assigned duties and training to resume, so get to work. Now, soldiers!
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes? It was lost years ago in a Dwemer ruin. Without it, I feel almost as defenseless as a newborn. I don't think I'll ever be able to find a replacement. I couldn't ask you to undertake such a treacherous journey. It would be a fool's errand. But I see that spark in your eye, and I know better than to warn you away. Grimsever rests within the Dwemer ruin of Misinchalaft. Tread carefully, friend. Those same ruins almost took my life.
The fairest prices and the highest quality in Skyrim.
Protect yourself right. Buy armor from Grelka.
I was adventuring in the depths of the ruins when I was attacked by a massive construct, like nothing I had ever seen. When the Colossus struck, Grimsever was knocked from my grasp, and I was wounded badly. It was only through blind luck that I was able to crawl away from the Dwemer abomination and make my way to the surface. I must have collapsed, because the next thing I remember is Erin standing over me, tending to my wounds. Please be careful. I don't wish to be the reason for your death.
Mjol, I'm glad I found you.
What is it, Trifa? What's the matter?
It's Bercy. He's getting so angry about the corruption in Riften, he said he's gonna walk right up to Maven and give her a piece of his mind.
If I see him, I'll make sure he doesn't do anything brash. Don't worry.
Come to see Balaman perform miracles with steel, eh? Amazing. These must have been very hard to come by. You've saved my business and warmed an old smith's heart. For that, I thank you. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
Dragon's soul belongs to me. Thank you. We will meet again.
I hope you haven't arrived here looking for work in the mine. Sure, it's full of spiders. That's what's wrong with it. Almost killed Grogmar and me when they showed up. I'm worried that they'll come out of the mine looking for food soon. Then we're in even bigger trouble. Yeah, they're as useless as a fifth wheel on a wagon. Gave me some sort of line about keeping an eye out for enemy soldiers. What's the point in protecting this place if the mine's completely useless? Idiots. Tell you what, keep to your word, and I'll line your pockets with as much as I can scrape up. Red Belly Mine gets its name from the red mist filling the place. You get used to it after a while. Kind of smells like the hot springs out in the tundra. No idea what's causing it, though. Moved right in and made themselves at home. Did it overnight. I'm not even sure exactly where they came from. No one's been hurt yet, and they seem to be staying in the mine. But who knows how long that will last. If we can't get back into the mine, our town is sunk. Take a look. I don't want to be responsible for sending you to your death. Be careful in the mine.
I've a lot of respect for the Restoration School. Skyrim could use more healers.
The Imperials think us all lawless beasts. I'm proof of their ignorance.
Nasty little buggers, aren't they? The spiders put you through the ringer? Gone? Every one of them? Why, that's incredible. Finally, we can reopen the mine and put Shor's stone back on the map. Here, please accept this gift as a token of our gratitude. Take a look.
Everything's all right?
Welcome to Shor Stone. Would you happen to be headed towards Darkwater Crossing? My parents live there. I usually make the journey to bring them gifts and to just say hello, but I haven't been well lately. I've written some letters and placed them in a satchel. Perhaps you wouldn't mind delivering it to them on my behalf? You would? Well then, I would insist on rewarding you for your time. Here, take my satchel and give it to my father, Werner. He'll likely have something for you to bring back. I had a bad fall in the mine when I was bringing some food to the men. I was pretty bad off for a while. But a priest of Mara was passing through on his way to Dawnstar and healed me to the best of his abilities. I'm still pretty sore and I can't really walk too far without having to rest for a while. Darkwater Crossing is a difficult journey. Mind yourself.
Is hard work, but we pay fair price for any ore you dig up. Ha! You showed those spiders a thing or two. Damn place is filled with this reddish mist. Can't see more than 10 feet in front of your face. But when you can sniff out a vein of iron like me, it isn't too much trouble. I'll buy everything you've dug up. Good hunting.